What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Rich. Real Talk with Rich is in the building. One more again. What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Good to be here. And yeah, we got a dope show to get to. And first of all, I hope all you guys had a wonderful week. Hope your weekend was dope. And yeah, man. We gotta get into some shenanigans tonight. But first, let me shout out to the Minnesota Vikings, who took it upon themselves to truck my Texans. That was not cool. That was not cool. I am grateful. I am grateful. I'm gonna tell you why I'm grateful. I am grateful to God that God gives us the ability to close our eyes and sleep when we don't want to look at something that disturbs us. So yes, I checked out like the third quarter. I just allowed my eyes to close and allowed the spirit of sleep and slumber to take over. And when I woke up and saw the final score, 34-7, I didn't feel that bad about it. I did not feel that bad about it. I didn't feel bad about it because I was able to sleep. I was not going to take myself through that torture. But shout out to the Minnesota Vikings, man. They got a squad. They trucked my team. And so, yeah, shout out to the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all didn't really think y'all was going to win that game at the end, did y'all? Y'all decided to wait to the midway through the fourth quarter to wake up and realize that y'all had a game that y'all could, that y'all were trying to win. But shout out to y'all. Y'all gave it y'all tried your best. Y'all tried your best. Styles is serious. You can't bury the lead. Texans got brisket. Whatever. Why you bringing up old stuff, Styles is serious? Anyway, so yeah, what's going on, Amir? I saw your Broncos. Now, let me tell you something. I'm disturbed by the Broncos. I'm going to tell you why I'm disturbed about the Broncos. The Broncos have a quarterback. His name is Bo Nix. Okay, he sounds like he's somebody from Mississippi, Alabama somewhere, right? Bo Nix might be a problem. Bo Nix might be a problem because Bo Nix is a white dude who likes to run with the football. Bo Nix is basically Caffrey at the quarterback position. Dude can run. And so I'm thinking to myself, every commentator that lacks melanin are going to prop this dude up as a phenomenon. Never mind we've seen running quarterbacks since the beginning of time. Never mind that we've seen, Michael Vick do his things or whatever. But let Bo Nix have a couple of games like he had today. Like my man Amir said, dude got wheels on him. That dude might be a problem. That dude might be a problem for somebody. So anyway, shout out to all of y'all. I know Steeler Nation is probably in here somewhere. Yeah, man. Afro says, greeted from BCL in the UK, 2:10 in the morning. Ah, man. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. So, yeah, man. I enjoyed today's football. Matter of fact, shout out to the Colorado Buffaloes. That was a good game yesterday. That was a good game yesterday. That was a pretty good game. I wasn't mad at that. Shout out to Baylor. That dude that dropped that pass, yeah, he probably looking for the transport portal. Because that game was done. That game was done. It was a wrap. But, it is what it is. Frustrated says, let's see what he does in more games before we praise him. I'm not praising him. I'm just saying, bro, dude got jets. Dude got jets. And I'm not saying that we should praise him. I just was happy to see him. And I'm like, okay, this dude can run with the ball. And he a big dude, too. Ain't like he ain't no little small dude. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, we gotta love the NFL. If they compare Bo to Walter Payton, I'm done. No, I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna take it that far. But we'll see, man. We gotta see, Season is still young, but God dog, man. My team lost today. That was a bummer, man. But it's okay, it's cool. Anyway, I see you behind the scenes, so here we go, Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers did their thing today. They did their thing today. Shout out to Mike Tomlin, man. That dude, all that dude does is win. He might not go to the Super Bowl a whole lot. He goes, though, every now and then. It's hard to get to the Super Bowl, but that guy's been consistent. Has not had a losing season the whole time he's been a coach. So, yeah. We'll see. We shall see. But with that said, we got to go on and get into these shenanigans. What's going on, Bo Big? What up to the chat? Glad all you guys are here. Mawan, I see you. What's going on? 1 in 100 podcast. What up? Behind the scene. Frustrated. What's happening? We'll see what the Commanders do tomorrow night. Style so serious. What's going on? How about them Cowboys? Oh man. Yeah, H&A says, shout out to my North Carolina Tar Heels. Mawan says, my Trojans let me down in college. Well, can't win them all, man. I mean, look, bruh, that's why they play the game. You might think you're going to win, but you got to play the game. It's a real sports rich. I love it. That's what's up. I'm toying with the idea of doing a sports show because I really love sports and I really love talking about sports. But we'll see. If somebody pushes me and motivates me to do it, I may actually pursue it. But yeah, man, I just like to kind of come in and just weigh in a little bit before I get into these comic books and the shenanigans going on with these books. So we got a show tonight. We got to get to it. Low hanging fruit. That's the segment of our show where we talk about the news and all the shenanigans on tonight. And we have some news. Matter of fact, we don't have just some news. We have some tea. We got some tea. Frustrated says, we're going to do a show together. That's what's up, man. Let me know. Just let me know. Comic book movie has an article. X-Men 97 former showrunner. Oh, before we get to that, go back there. Real quick. Stranger Comics came on with us recently, and they have an offer that's available. If you go to their website, strangercomics.com, and order a book, omnibus, trade paperbacks, bundles, whatever. If you use the code BCL, you get 10% off of your purchase. So if you've been looking at some of the hip hop variants that Sebastian's been putting out for the last few years, whether it be the She Tribe, the Wu-Tang homage, or the Dead President's homage, or the TLC homage, or the Tribe Called Quest homage, you can get those at 10% off. Just use the code BCL. And from what we understand, he's going to continuously do that. So that code is going to be there, and it's not going nowhere. So yeah. Like Comic Lord says, you can even order a sword. Yeah. That's what's up. So anyway, also, mark the date, September 26th is the final cutoff date. Go to your website, go to your LCS and pre-order Tales of Asunder Niobe and also Defiant, the story of Robert Smalls. These are going to be amazing books to get. They're going to be in your shop, but you got to order this by September 26th, and that's this Thursday. So when you go to the shop Tuesday or Wednesday, tell your shop guy, hey man, I want to pre-order Tales of Asunder. Now, if it's not your John, I get it. But if you know somebody that likes fantasy type stuff, the Niobe book was dope. But if you like history, or if you love history, you definitely want to get that Robert Smalls. And if nothing else, the Niobe Blade 2 cover is worth pre-ordering. You want to get that. So why don't you go ahead and call your shop up and say, hey, put this on there. I want to pre-order this. And remember, its final cutoff date is September 26th for that. Now, let's get to the article. So there's a comic book movie article concerning X-Men 97 former exec Bo DeMaio with more claims. This guy's spilling the tea. He's just like, you know what? I'm snitching. I am snitching. I am telling it all. I am telling it all. In recent weeks, former X-Men 97 showrunner Bo DeMaio has doubled down on exposing some of the alleged injustices he faced while working at Marvel Studios. Today, he shared some pretty bold claims about the portrayal of Storm in the Disney Plus series. Much has been said about the character being whitewashed on screen. Even Dark Phoenix star Alexander Shipp has shared her hope for a darker-skinned actress to play Aurora Monroe on screen. According to DeMaio, the X-Men 97 crew and I fought hard to have Storm's skin tone darker and more accurate to her heritage versus X-Men the animated series. Marvel noted that while we were being so accurate about her skin color, then Storm shouldn't have white hair either, he added. These sort of microaggressive notes are designed to domino backwards to kill the initial idea, as Marvel knows we're not changing Storm's hair color. DeMaio added that then came the usual racist. Well, if Storm's too dark, we won't be able to see her at nighttime or in dark scenes. We went ahead and did it anyway. Turns out there's a thing in animation called lighting. He would later address one of X-Men's 97's biggest controversies, the apparent whitewashing of Afro-Brazilian character Robert DaCosta, aka Sunspot. DeMaio was heavily criticized for that before the show's release and even left social media for a time due to the backlash. And now, though he says finally he can address this, Marvel insisted that he be Latino. I did push the dark in his skin to reflect his Afro-Brazilian heritage, but was given a flat-out no. Mayo said he is doing an AMA, which is Ask Me Anything, later this week, and he'll be taking interviews with some YouTube channels. So we're sure he'll have more to say very soon. Well, well, well. What the wicked web we weave. Marvel is doing Marvel things. And when Marvel does these kind of foolish stuff, you just have to wonder, why Marvel? What's wrong with being authentic to the characters that you quote unquote created? What's wrong with making Storm a dark-skinned woman? Why is this even an issue? You know, you should be thanking Bo DeMaio for his work on X-Men 97. Because many of the people out there that didn't see the movie didn't see the series were trying to defecate on it. But when it came out, it was so good they had to applaud it. But them being who they are, they chose not to talk about it. That's one thing I like about the fanboys. When it's something that they don't like, that's good, they shut their mouth. But when it's something that's they don't like, that's bad, they talk about it all day. I just need y'all to keep hushing their mouth. But it is what it is. Amistad says no peace in our time. Colorism, absolutely. Seacole says they have defended that Sunspot Eve thing back to the New Mutant movies, and it was so hand waved by the usual suspects, same one who threw fits about Michael B. Jordan and Fantastic Four. We had Angelique Roche on our show, did an interview with her, and she talked about Sunspot, and she made a point to say, canonically, that Sunspot is black. That's it. He's Afro-Brazilian. Y'all need to knock it off, Marvel. Y'all just need to knock it off. Just do right by the characters. Present the characters in a cultural and ethnic way that befits the character. Why would they? Why would y'all just not want Storm to be dark skinned when she's clearly dark skinned in the comic books? When she's Kenyan, what's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? We keep telling y'all that white supremacy is the real thing, and they keep saying that we don't know what we're talking about. They keep saying that we're in a post-racial society, but we're still dealing with things like colorism. So, yeah. It's terrible. It's terrible. Moan says, we know why. Yeah. Shout out to Bo DeMaio, man, for exposing them. And you're going to get clowned. We're going to clown you. Trust and believe. We're going to clown you. Because you're very disrespectful. You're very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. And that's why I'm like, you know what? Shout out to all the Black Panther fans. Shout out to all y'all recast T'Challa dudes. But I need y'all to start giving Marvel some work behind this kind of stuff. Because this is the real fight. This is the real fight. We talk about, you can't talk about to me, don't talk to me about representation. Don't talk to me about diversity and inclusion. And when you won't fight for the very things that we already have. Not what you want, but what you already have. Y'all need to get at Marvel's neck behind that. While y'all protested and while y'all not wanting to support this and that, the third, y'all take some of that energy and put it towards Sunspot and Storm. This man is out here exposing Marvel for what they are, cowards. Speaking of Marvel, there is a comic book article. Sam Wilson and the Red Hulk collide in Captain America series ahead of Brave New World. The main characters in Captain America Brave New World are going to headline a new Marvel series before the film hits theaters next year. Promotion and marketing for the fourth Captain America movie has centered on Sam Wilson, who's taken over the mantle of Cap from Steve Rogers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And General Status Thunderbolt Ross, aka Red Hulk, with Captain America Brave New World on the horizon, you just knew that Marvel would release a comic book, at least that had Sam Wilson's Cap name on it. This appears to be the case with Red Hulk and other characters from the film who will also make appearances. Marvel announced Sam Wilson Captain America, a limited new series by co-writers Greg Pak and Evan Narcisse, and drawn by Eder Messias. Similar to Captain America Brave New World, the limited series will see Sam Wilson and Red Hulk on opposite sides in this super spy thriller. When Captain America uncovers a nefarious plot parading itself as the new tech adventure, he'll be shocked to find that Red Hulk is running the company's security. The cover, there it is right there, by Torrin Clark, reveals other heroes that will take part in the story, including Isaiah Bradley, Patriot, Eli Bradley, War Machine, and Storm. According to this quote-unquote, working with Evan on this book has been an absolute dream. We spent hours sharing big ideas, finishing each other's thoughts, and cackling out loud over the story we're cooking up. Seeing the pages roll in from Eder has been absolutely mind-blowing, according to Greg Pak. It's going to be a fun, fast, high-octane adventure that also explores what it means to feel locked out of the American dream. I feel pretty confident in saying Sam's never flown through the skies like these before, Narcisse said. Narcisse also gave his thoughts on the character of Sam Wilson. One of the great things about Sam Wilson is that he straddles the line between everyman and superhero in the classic Marvel fashion. The core of Battle Angels will explore how he navigates that tension and how he and others have expanded the symbolism of the Captain American legacy in a very different way. We're pulling all stops to tell a story that matters, that goes deep into what it means for a Black social worker from Harlem to pick up the shield and put on those wings, while delivering massive action thrills in the grand tradition of Marvel super spy science fiction, Pak explained. I particularly love how grounded the book is with the characters like Sam's fast-talking cousin Billy, my new favorite character ever, while taken to the sky in ways you've never seen. And yes, that's the big tease. Don't you dare miss it. So when Captain America attends a birthday party for Isaiah Bradley, he catches wind of a new tech adventure that sounds too good to be true, magnificent floating platforms in the sky, where disenfranchised can apply for land grants and establish their own farms. But after Sam discovers the organization's dark underbelly, he'll have to tangle with its head of security, the Red Hulk. So this sounds like it's going to be pretty good. This book, Sam Wilson, Captain America #1, goes on sale in January 2025. So y'all make sure to pre-order that. So I don't know if they're going to RIP my man's Amir, but they're trying to promote this book. Promote this movie that's coming out in February. So PS says Marvel wants lighter Black characters, insert a Nazi. Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that either. So yeah, so that's what's going on with that. Will Betty show up in this? I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of they reshot this film, almost a whole new film, a whole different film. So there's a lot of stuff on the cutting floor. Maybe they will release a director's cut or something. I don't know. But yeah, this movie, I'm intrigued. I mean, am I exactly excited to go see it and that kind of thing? Not really. I want to go get some popcorn, big tub of drink, and enjoy it like every other Marvel movie. So, yeah, we're gonna have fun with it either way. So I'm not on no protest nonsense, y'all. Y'all do that. I'll see you at the theaters. So anyway, so speaking of entertainment, for those of you who have HBO Max, a new show just dropped. James Gunn's first bullet out the chamber, in his era, I should say. The Penguin, episode 1 dropped. And let me tell you, it is fire. It is fire. Bruh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. This is on some Sopranos, Donnie Brasco type stuff. Don't sleep on Colin Farrell, bro. That dude's a great actor. But episode 1 was amazing. That look, man. If this is what the James Gunn era is going to be, oh yeah, I'm here for this. Oh man. So I know some of y'all say, you hadn't watched it yet, man. Y'all go watch that. I'm not going to spoil it because I know it just came out and people want to sign up for HBO Max to see it and that kind of thing. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, the Penguin was dope. I sat down yesterday got all my schoolwork and all that stuff done, and took care of business as far as Sunday morning was. I said, let me sit down, and Nerdy Law says gun had little to do with this. This is an Elseworlds Batman that predates him. Yeah, perhaps Nerdy Large, but it's his era though. I'll say it like that. He's gonna, if fair or unfair, right or wrong or whatever, he's gonna get credit for it simply because this is where DC is going as far as the comic stuff. I get it or whatever. All I know is that it's amazing. It's amazing. So y'all check it out and do your commentaries on it. But it's nice, man. It's nice. It's well done. It is a well done show. They spent their time on this, for real. They spent their time on this. It comes out of the Matt Reeves Batman series, of course. I mean, Batman movie, the Batman, I should say. So, in that regard, Nerdy Large, I feel what you're saying, for real. But yeah, give it a try, Amistad. You're gonna enjoy it. I promise you. I promise you. You gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it. If you like mafia type stuff, you know what I'm saying? Gritty mafia type stuff. This is because basically, the Penguin operates among Falcons and the Maronis. That's the mafia version of Gotham or whatever. Like I said, Sopranos. It's Sopranos meets Donnie Brasco meets the DC universe. It's nice, bro, and it's raw. It's a HBO Max show. So y'all go check that out. And supposedly the Bat is nowhere near this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This literally takes place after what happened with the Riddler and the Batman. And so Gotham is kind of like going through a rebuilding phase or whatever. There's a vacuum of power in place. And people are jumping in to try to take control. And the Penguin, that dude, they're a mastermind. Don't sleep. That's all I'm saying. I'm not the biggest Penguin villain fan. Joker's my favorite villain. But man, look, don't sleep on the Penguin. That's all I'm gonna say. 1 in 100 podcast says James Gunn is supposed to be doing another Batman movie. I honestly think he should put an end to that and let Matt Reeves rock in Gotham. You know what? Look, I'm here for it all. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm here for it all. If they put it out, I'm gonna go watch it. It's that simple. It's just that simple. So if James, and I get what you're saying, Amir, from the continuity type stuff or whatever, and get kind of muddled down or whatever, man, I'm not even tripping. I'm not. All I want is quality cinematic excellence, regardless of what they do. Just make it good. That's all I care about. So yeah, y'all go check that out. With that said, man, I'm gonna go ahead. We still talking about DC, and after we're gonna go ahead and switch to Collector's Corner. Collector's Corner is a segment of the show where I just pull something from the collection, and I talk about it a little bit. And it's something that you may add to your collection if you want. If you don't, I'm gonna just expose you to a book that you may or may not have in you. And since we're talking about DC, we're kind of DC intensive tonight. I pulled a DC book from my collection. 1 in 100 podcast says, OG, how about that part when Oz had the conversation with old boy at the club? No spoilers. Oh, bruh. Y'all just go watch that. Y'all go watch that. Y'all just go watch it. So the book I want to talk about is Justice League number 57. This is a Silver Age book. It is done by Gardner Fox. The pencils is Mike Sikowski, and the inks is Saul Green, or Sid Green, I'm sorry. But anyway, this is a book, right? You can see I got it right here in my collection. I still want to just put a digital thing. I do have the book, right? You can pull that back up, Derek. But this is the book, done back in 1967. November of 1967 is the marking on the book. And so this book is not the most politically correct? Well, in a way, it might be considered politically correct. But basically, there are like three people in this book. There's a black man. There is a an Apache Indian, and an Indian from India. I say it like that. Maybe I should say Native American. There's a Native American, a black man, and a Indian on the cover of the book, right? Each of them have a story. And basically, this is a story about, getting along with your fellow brother. And it's a problematic book, but at the same time, you got to consider it's 1967. Let's say that right there. It's 1967. So the black guy, his name is Joel Harper. And, he's a young guy who is just, all he wants is an opportunity. And, he was able to get a job. He wound up getting fired from the job, right? But he has this thought about him being colored, so yeah, the word colored is used in this book. Flash calls him a Negro in this book. Okay, so again, if you read this, you'd be like, man, what? I done stepped out of a time machine. That's exactly what it is. This book is 57 years old. Okay, so it's a story about struggle and trying to live peacefully among everybody. The problem with this book is that while it has good intentions, everybody wants to be peaceful and kind after you done conquered. How can there be peace? How can we sing in a strange land, y'all? The Native American that's in here, colleague says, sound like a fifth dimension. Anyway, the Native American that's in here, he's an Apache, and he makes a comment about how he was doing well in school and he drops out, and he says that his own people were putting him down for doing what he was trying to do, which was be successful in school, in education. And they use words like redskin in it. And again, it's 1967, y'all. And these books, as a collector, I tell people you have to respect the timeline. You may not like the timeline, but you got to respect the timeline because the timeline is the timeline. When it comes to comic books, when it comes to art, when it comes to this medium of comic books, serialized storytelling, you're going to see things that are not going to be flattering. You're going to see things that are going to be quite triggering. You're going to see things that are going to be quite disturbing. And this is light. This is literally light work or whatever, because I like the intention. I even like the education, but it's the execution that always puts people off. Because again, I'm reading this in 2024. It was done back in 1967, the same year I was born. It's one of those things where you're going to be like, wow. You might not think the world was like that at one time, but it was, And again, DC were trying to quote unquote do something, to promote brotherhood among everybody. And it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. It is what it is. Shout out to my man Green Arrow, because Green Arrow's always, in my opinion, been one of those superheroes that's always been on the right side of the little guy. And he's always been on the right side of doing things right. He was the first guy to want to recruit Black Lightning as a character into the Justice League. And I like all the Justice League characters. I don't hate on anyone. I like them all for different reasons. But it's just this is one of the books that, it's in the collection that, is a nod to the history of comic books and the history of the world in which we live in. It's a problematic world we live in. And it's like, how do we live in peace? When you've actually stirred up the fires of dissension. That's the problem I have with books like this. Yes, we can dream about brotherhood and that kind of thing, but We got issues. You know, you got a Native American has been put on a reservation. You got an African or a black man who is a descendant of slavery, and you have an Indian who's probably had to deal with colonialism when it comes to the English. But y'all talking about brotherhood, and you got the 3 white guys on top. You know, they a picture is worth 1,000 words. So yeah. Seacoast says, check out Archie's book, Betty, that had a Native American girl dressed as an Indian at a school in Riverdale in a story from 1992, early Dan Parent art. Okay. That's what's up. So yeah, that's Justice League 57 from 1967. What's going on? Terrell McMillan with the super chat. He says, LOL, which of you are buying the rights from Marvel Luke Cage and making the animated movie straight out of the original comic books? I need to be done. He was never properly introduced. That Netflix story sucks all the way. Well, tell us how you really feel, Terrell. But thank you for the super chat. We'll talk about your comment right after this. Go ahead and run it, Derek. Yeah, man, look, I like Luke Cage as a character. I didn't have a problem with the Netflix series. I think season 1 of the series was dope. A lot of people think that the soundtrack masked how bad it was. And that's probably true to some degree. But I think that they could reintroduce Luke Cage, give him another retcon story. I think it'll be okay. I like the fact that, you know, Brothers from Harlem, that kind of thing, you know, he's a mercenary for the most part, or a hero for hire or whatever, you know. I would be here for it, you know what I'm saying? I hope that they go ahead and bring him into the MCU. You know, they're doing this with Daredevil, so they need to do this with all the Defenders or all the Netflix shows, and just go on and bring those characters over so we can see some dope stuff, and we can see a real Defenders movie, not the Netflix type stuff. Now the Iron Fist, that was a snooze. That was the worst thing ever. That should have went to Tubi. It was so bad. So, but yeah. So Kevin Pitt says the 3 white saviors up top. Hey, bro, it is what it is. I'm just here to report the news. It's the timeline. It's the timeline. This is our history. So, or should I say, the history of comics concerning Black characters and concerning the social construct that is race in America. And yeah, Wegman says, all due respect, brother, I love Luke Cage so much so that it ruined regular TV for me. Hadn't seen that many fleshed out Black characters before. Well, you know what? Like I say, season 1 was cool. I didn't like season 2. Season 2 had, you know, the fake Jamaican accents, and I always poke fun at Paul behind the Jamaicans in the season 2. The season 2 of Luke Cage. The Mariah Stokes, it kills me every time that dude used to say that. So yeah. Yes. Primal One says Luke Cage was okay, story could have been better. Yeah. I'm gonna start. Green Arrow got Black Lightning's niece killed and didn't own it. He doesn't get any love from me. Yeah, I didn't say he was perfect. You know? I didn't say he was perfect. He's been in some dope books though, you know. To your point, that's true. Will he ever admit to it? I don't know. I doubt it. Because Jefferson Pierce might kill him. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. He says Bushmaster was great. Ooh-ah. I mean, you know, he was cool, man. Why they just couldn't get some Jamaicans to do it? That's all I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do that, you know what I'm saying, bring some real people from the Yadi. So, yeah. Primal One says they should have stick with one villain, have Diamondback show up in the finale as a cliffhanger and had him be the season 2 villain, Bushmaster for season 3. Well, I didn't like the way it ended because he supposedly, at the end, it ended with Luke Cage being quote unquote the king of Harlem. I would have liked to see what was going to happen with that, but of course they didn't do it. Leonard Pigg says Shaba ranks as Bushmaster. No, because I would probably be, why he'd come on screen and all I would hear is Shaba. I couldn't call him Bushmaster. So, but anyway, yeah. The Bushmaster and Luke were like Xavier and Magneto. Ua says, one day there's going to be a global Black Writers Collective. I think it's moving toward that now. I think that the problem is getting everybody to kind of like come together. You have pockets of writers and collectors that kind of work together and doing their thing. But on a grand scale or global scale or whatever, that would be dope to see. But you know, like anything, man, it's like the sausage, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants it, but don't nobody want to see it made. You know, Vagrant says Epiphany Engine is a good start. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of inspiration that can come from what happened with Epiphany Engine or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We need like 5 or 6 more different Epiphany engines from different collectors to come together and just like, you know what, let's pool our resources, let's pool our brands together and let's make something, you know, concrete. Because again, the way the world works now, you don't have to like go through the gatekeepers or whatever. You can literally do everything yourself. But it's willing to put your bread up. It's willing to put your time up, put your energy toward it to see it through. You know what I'm saying? And I tell this to artists, understand something. This is an art. You can have all the great ideas in the world, but if your art does not completely allow my 2 eyes and my 2 ears to see and hear what you're talking about, where it resonates with me, where I care about your character, then you did it all for nothing. Great ideas are all over the place, but how to put them together and in artistic fashion where it makes sense, that can be a problem. That can be a problem. Afro says, thanks for the history lesson with that Justice League comic. Do you remember Johnny Doom from JLA 1971? Yes. From the Primal One says Iron Fist show was the worst. Danny's supposed to be the kung fu master, yet he looked so amateurish with his fighting. The stunt coordinators and the actor playing as Danny should have been ashamed. Well, the writing on that thing was terrible. The pacing on that thing was slow. It was like, come on, y'all, what y'all doing? They could have literally made that show in like 3 episodes. But they drug it out or whatever, and it's like, One of the parts said, hold on, oh, gee, where's the beard? Yeah, man, I had to shave it, bro. I had to shave it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I like wearing the beard, but every now and then, you know what I'm saying, when you have to comb it, massage it, beard oil and all that, man, that'd be a hassle sometimes. So I shaved it off. I'll probably grow it back out in maybe November, December when it gets cold. Yeah, it'll be back. It'll be back. So, yo, look, we're gonna take a commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about Batman Day 2024. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. Grab a drink, take a break, check the game out. We'll be right back in a minute.
T'Challa's been knocked around a lot. A lot.
And I wanted the story to feel like T'Challa is him, you know? Like, he's that dude. And
You
I
want to give
wanted
the
to,
swag back.
yes, I wanted him to, you know, get some, I don't want to say arrogance, but to me, um, T'Challa doesn't need to be humbled. And
Say that part louder again. For the people in the
T'Challa,
back.
I don't think that T'Challa needs to be humbled. There are things that he needed to learn, and I think multiple writers have done a great job in T'Challa learning and growing. But I don't think he needed a humbling. And I wanted, even though I know that he was like, he had fallen prey to Blade and he was serving someone else, I wanted to emphasize that Wakandans may have a broken government, but they aren't a broken people. And T'Challa is that dude. T'Challa is, king or not, he is that dude. Heart, soul, mind, all of it. And so I kind of wanted the last of the first to show this man is important and should be treated as if he is important.
Message.
We back. So, Batman Day 2024 was yesterday, right? And for the last couple of years, the last few years, Batman Day has been pretty cool. This year it's been kind of laid back. You know what I'm saying? Comic book shops would go all out for Batman Day. They would the LCS guys would or gals, they would get dressed up, they would cosplay, they would give away books, they would do a whole lot of stuff. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? But now it's different. But before we get to that, we have a super chat. Terrell, he says, all the characters in the Luke Cage suck. No one was related originally. His father his father was not no crooked preacher. And Luke is Harlem bred, not visiting from Georgia. Y'all stop it.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
You know what? I like what you said, Terrell, because what you said is facts. And Marvel needs to hear this kind of stuff because sometimes Marvel be doing too much, and they try to check boxes instead of just telling a dope story sometimes. It gets on my nerve. But yeah, man, I think that the comics, the source material, it all goes back to the source material. The source material tells you everything that you should do and what you shouldn't do. But people don't like that for them. Mawan, and frustrated. I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute, but Mawan just hit us with a super chat. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yo, Diddy was Harlem bred too. Really, man? Look, I am going to put a moratorium. There will be no more Diddy talk on Real Talk with Rich. We not doing that. I was sitting up thinking the other day when all this stuff with Diddy started falling off the shelf. And I just think about all them songs where you would hear him say, take that, take that, take that. Bruh. We have been saluting monsters oof. And I know that there are a lot of Diddy fans out there, but there ain't no way. There ain't no way y'all can look at homie the same. I know I can't. You know. See Cole say too early. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just trying to figure out. I know there's a shortage of baby oil in New York. We know who got all the baby oil. Bruh. Oh my God. You know what? Now we're walking on shaky ground. No, we're not. We done with that. We done with that. We gonna get these jokes off. But I do not want to distract from the fact that that dude's a problem. That's all I'm gonna say. Let us move along. Behind the scene, I'm hyped for the new horror movie, Five Nights at Diddy's. Y'all stop. Y'all show disrespectful. This okay. Back to Batman Day 2024. Woo, Lord have mercy. Y'all hilarious. Yeah, so anyway, Batman Day is usually a big deal, you know what I'm saying? But you go to comic shops, the people are cosplaying, they're giving away a gang of comic books. You really didn't have that this year. They gave away like 3 or 4 different books. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, it's been laid back. Now I don't want to say every LCS did that, but I went to an LCS this week for Saturday. Went into the shop, okay. They had a tournament going on. They had a gaming tournament going on. And I went to the guy, I told my guy, hey man, where's the books? Where the Batman books at? What you talking about? I say, it's Batman Day. He's like, it is? I was like, yeah. So he scratches his head a little bit. He said, oh, that must be what these books are for. So he took all his Batman books that they were supposed to give away, free Batman books, and had them under a table because he was trying to make room for this tournament that they were having. There was a lot of people in that shop that day, and but Batman Day was the last thing they were thinking about. I went to another shop, and they didn't have none of the books laid out whatsoever. I don't know if we had to ask for the book behind the counter or what. I just walked in, looked around or whatever, and left because I had already grabbed the books that I wanted, but that's literally not a thing anymore or whatever. So I don't know if DC's not putting any, I don't know if DC's not putting any more resources into Batman Day like they should. And this is the 85th anniversary. But, I guess not. I don't know. So we'll see. The 101 podcast says, hey, don't forget Diddy did dress up like the Joker, so it does relate, OG. You know what, bro? I'm going to start blocking y'all. Yeah, I don't need to see. Anyway, NBA Live Girl says, oh, wow, my LCS had them all laid out with cool presentation and sales on Batman books. There were some books that they were selling. You know what I'm saying? Some shops have like 25% off of graphic novels and that kind of thing. So they did something, but they usually make a big deal out of Batman Day. That's my point. But it really wasn't a real big deal. I saw no kids in the shop, but that it is what it is. But I just was thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Now, Leonard Pig says, McFarlane Toys has so many versions of Batman. Makes me think Every Day is according to the Tie Father. That's his favorite. That's got to be his favorite character other than Spawn. Mawan says, I purchased the Batman popcorn from AMC for the 85th anniversary. That is the back signal that shines the signal. Turned out all my lights and shined it on the ceiling. It is dope. Okay. Now, Afro says, maybe DC will celebrate Batman properly when Absolute Batman hits the shelf. Man, the pre-orders on that Absolute Batman is 200,000. Now, I don't like the new Signa. He's like, I don't know what kind of wings is like a big old square, not square, but a rectangle or whatever. I don't like that or whatever, but people talk about that book like it's going to be amazing. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get the book. I'm going to check it out. But I don't know. But the pre-orders on that thing is 200,000. That is crazy. That is crazy. So, yeah. So, anyway, DC did a thing, of course. They they have a what they call 85 presentation, whatever, and they had different artists doing different things. One of the artists is a amazing artist, one of my favorite artists, Hebru Brantley. Hebru Brantley did that version or that art right there for it. And on the website, there's like a 4-minute clip where he talks about how his fondness for Batman and that kind of thing, and how has Batman contributed to him as an artist and that kind of thing. And so I think that's a dope image. And so when I first saw this image of Batman, I was like, man, I got to get that. I got to get that. Where is it? I went looking for it, could not find it, except on the DC website. Now, they had like 7 artists do something in regards to Batman 85. The problem is this image is not for sale. I don't know if they're just doing this as an online thing or whatever, but I wanted that as a poster. I wanted it as a shirt. Initially, we thought it might be a cover of a Batman book. But we got no such dice on that. Hebru Brantley, for those who don't know, is an artist, a sculptor, whatever. His art is phenomenal. His styling is amazing. He is what's called a quote unquote culture or fine artist. His stuff go for major bread. He has one of the most sought after books in our community, Black Boy Fly. Funny thing is, the cover is so iconic. Derek, I don't know if you can find a cover of Black Boy Fly, but if you can find that, I want you to bring that up if that's okay. And I want everybody to see it because you've seen his art. You may have just not known who the dude was, or you're just not familiar with his stuff because he's not a quote unquote comic book artist. He can do comic book type stuff, no doubt, but he's like a fine artist. His stuff, he do coffee table books, that kind of thing. He's an amazing artist. So yeah, there it is right there. That image right there, Black Boy Fly. That book there goes for major bread. Funny thing is, that was a book that they were giving away at a con. But that book goes for 4, 5, 6. I think we saw one recently online for like 7,000. And we don't even really know if it's a comic book or not. but that image is incredible. Seacoast has never heard of that book. Yeah. But that's one of the books that many of the savant collectors in our space have and covet. I don't have a copy of that book, but I know a couple of guys who do. And they're in our space. But yeah, those images of those kids, that style or whatever, that's Hebru Brantley. Hebru Brantley has done stuff that has been seen in Bel Air, the remake of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air series. He's had some art featured in that. So Amani says, ironically, he's not the cover artist or the interior artist going around for 10K. Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. A lot of people want it. But I wanted that piece of work right there, and we'd have no idea if it's available, and it's not. Looked on the site. They have other people that did art for Batman 85 who have, you know, T-shirts and that kind of thing or whatever, but not Hebru Brantley. So that's unfortunate. I'm gonna need y'all to work on that, DC. How you gonna have Hebru Brantley do something for y'all and then we're not able to get the product? Where do you do that at? What part of the game is that? He said, I think that Batman image is being used for something. I want to say that I've seen that at school. It's probably going to be used for something, you know, but again, you know, I want to buy it, you know, but it may be for something, you know, promo or something or whatever. I'm thinking it might be just for some online stuff, but yeah. And, you know, yeah, y'all make that happen. I need to get that. Don't make me a thief. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So anyway, so that happened with that, right? Now, a couple of books that they did offer for Batman Day. One book was Joker the World, special edition. Okay, Joker the World is a graphic novel, or you know, that has multiple stories in it, right? One such story, I believe, is from Cameroon, and I don't have my book in front of me, but there is a story with the Black Joker from Africa in the book. So basically, these are different Jokers or different interpretations or different stories of Joker around the world. And so people have been circulating that article on the right around, and they gave away a Joker the World free comic book that's available, but you get like 3 or 4 pages of a free book. So you get a preview of the book, but the whole story isn't in the book. You have to get the graphic novel Joker the World to get the whole book. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. The graphic novel goes for $24.99. So if you want to put up some bread to read about an African Joker, there it is. But if you got a free comic book for Batman Day, you get a preview of the story that's in it. And I'm going to eventually get it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I ain't gonna get it because Joker's my favorite villain. But yeah. So so yeah. Vagrant says for Batman fans, a mad lad did an online 2.5 hour long video called an exhaustive look at Batman's current chronology. Okay. That's what's up. It's so much to Batman, man. I ain't trying to get everything. I got a few things, but I can't get everything. So another book that they were offering was Batman: The Wayne Family Adventures. This particular book here is actually based on the webtoon series. This basically is a webtoon book. They gave away a comic book preview of that or whatever. The Signal is in it. Duke Thomas is in it, and so he goes to live with, you know, Bruce Wayne and his family and and the whole Bat family, and they're there. And basically, the story that you get is a fun story, and they're sitting around talking and they're eating cookies, and then all of a sudden they just begin to act crazy over these cookies that Alfred made. It's pretty funny and lighthearted or whatever, but you know, DC did a webtoon series with these characters in it, and that's based on that. So you can get that as a graphic novel as well. And that, like I said, it features Duke Thomas. So that's the reason why I want to talk about it, because Duke Thomas is in it. Speaking of Duke Thomas, I want to talk tonight about the Black characters in the Bat family and in the world of Batman. And so what I did was I put together a list of characters, Black folks that are in the world of Batman and Gotham and all of that stuff. And so these are a few books that you might want to go grab. The first book is Detective Comics number 463. And this is from 1976. It features a character called the Black Spider. The Black Spider is a villain. His name is Eric Needham. Very good story. I think you would enjoy it, but you ought to pick that up. And that's from 1976. Black Spider has been featured a couple of times, but that's the first appearance. Detective Comics 463. The book right next to it is Batman 308 from 1979, and that is Tiffany Fox's first appearance. The Fox family, everybody knows about the Fox family, or should know about the Fox family. Lucius Fox, is the patriarch of the family. But Batman 308 is her first appearance, Tiffany Fox. Lucius Fox, his first appearance is Batman 307. That's the next slide. That one there, Batman 307, that's Lucius Fox's first appearance. Behind the scene, boy, you crazy. I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute. Let me go through these books. So Batman 313 is the first appearance of Tim Fox. Now, what's interesting about Batman 313 was a lot of people, this was a spec that a lot of people lost a lot of bread on. Because Tim turns into Jace Fox, who winds up being I Am Batman. That's his first appearance. That book goes for a little bit of bread. But people kind of lost their shirt. Not they didn't lose their shirt. They may have lost a sock or two. But yeah, that was a bad spec, in my opinion. But yeah, that's Tim Fox's first appearance, Batman 313. Now, this next character is a character that's my favorite Black character, and that's Black Lightning. Black Lightning and Batman have worked together in Batman and the Outsiders, and he's been featured in the mythos of Black Lightning and in the Justice League for the longest. But this is like their first appearance together, other than the Outsider stuff. Brave and Bold 163. Now, Superman is the first superhero in the DC universe that Black Lightning is encountered. But I wanted to include this book because, again, Black Lightning and Batman have a long story relationship. So that's why I put that one up there. That next book is Batman or Detective Comics 523. And that features the Killer Croc, Waylon Jones. Waylon Jones, a.k.a. Killer Croc, that's his first appearance. That's from 1983. That Black Lightning and Batman Brave and Bold book is from 1980. So yeah, Killer Croc, the villain that looks like a crocodile or whatever, is actually a black man. That's his first appearance. So the next book features Onyx Adams, a.k.a. Onyx. Onyx, her first appearance is Detective Comics 546, and that's from 1985. Monty says Killer Croc is a bruh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Orpheus. Batman Orpheus Rising. Gavin King's first appearance is that same book, Batman Orpheus Rising, and that's from 2001. Orpheus, we all know, is dead. Unfortunately, that's a character that I feel like they should have kept around. But yeah, that's one of the characters I feel like, I don't know why they wanted to kill that character off. That is crazy to me. But yeah. And that's a great limited series. If you don't have that series, I recommend that you go get that for real. It's 5 issues. You'll enjoy it. The next one is David Zambimbe, aka Batwing. His first appearance is Batman Incorporated from 2011. That's the first Batwing. Okay. Dean David, the original Batwing, come out of retirement recently in one of those special events book, but not too much news was made about it. Well, I mean, he's in the not the planet. It's not planetary. It's he's in the Outsiders book that's running right now. That's actually getting ready to finish. So yeah. So the next Batwing, Luke Fox, when aka Batwing, his first appearance is Batwing number 19. Now, for whatever reason, this book goes for a little money, even though he's the second Batwing. And I guess it's because he's a part of the Fox family. But I don't understand why that book goes for money. Yeah, but it does. One of my favorite characters is up next. Duke Thomas, aka The Signal, his first appearance is Batman Volume 2, issue 21. Think I'm at church. Yeah. So The Signal, that's his first appearance. That Scott Snyder book there. That's an iconic cover. You can find that book in dollar bins. Doesn't go for that much money. That's The Signal's first appearance. And then last book there is Batman and Robin and Howard. That's I put that up there for fun or whatever because Howard is a kid that Damian Wayne goes to school with, right? And Damian goes to this new school, and Howard's kind of like the popular guy, and Damian, because of who he is, whatever, at a new school trying to fit in, they kind of like become adversaries in the beginning, but they wind up working together. And it's a pretty fun type story. It's basically a book for kids or whatever, but I think you will enjoy it either way. So that's why I put that up there, because that's the last new black character that I've seen in the Batman family. And so, of course, it's not part of continuity and that kind of thing or whatever. Do with that what y'all will or whatever. Batman hardcore fans probably will poo-poo it, but I put it up there because Howard is a black guy, and we prop up all black characters, whether we like them or not, whether we favor them or not. So, yeah. Seco says, you forgot Michael Lane, who was the second Azrael. True. I did forget Azrael, which is weird to me because I have an Azrael Michael Lane Funko Pop. But I do know the first appearance. First appearance of Michael Lane is Batman 665. I do have that book. I did forget to put Azrael on. But ain't too many people even mess with Azrael like that for whatever reason. I think it's the character, whatever, but it's a legacy character. That's the part that gets kind of sticky, which is probably why I didn't initially think about it, because I was really thinking about original characters, whatever. But I did not think about Azrael. But I've always thought of Azrael Michael Lane as a legacy character. And while I don't dislike legacy characters, they don't never come to the forefront of my mind. So Lenny Pig says, wasn't Duke a Robin before becoming Signal? Wonder if that was not a Marlon Wayans he was supposed to be in Robin in the Tim Burton film. I'm not sure. There's a possibility for that, but I don't necessarily think that was the thought. It could have been, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Marlon Wayans' name was going to be in the movie. I mean, yeah, in the movie. That's something to think about. That's something to think about. I never thought about that in terms of what his name was going to be, because he was going to play Robin, but which Robin? Was he going to be You know, Dick Grayson? Was he going to be another? You know, we don't know that. Somebody find that out. So Lynn says he was a part of the We Are Robin. Yes, there were like 10 of them. Kids from the street called themselves Robin after Batman vanished. Yeah, and it's weird too, man. I'm not a big fan of the We Are Robin series. There is a variant that they put out that I want, but they want too much money for it. I'm like, dude, okay, I understand. We always got to pay a black tax, but come on, y'all, now let the price down on that so I can get it. He says, well, we have the Marlon Wayne characters now in Batman 89 now. Yep. There is a, C-Code says, which variant? I don't even know if Derek can pull it up. Let me see if I can look it up on my tablet. If I can find it on my tablet, I will shoot it to Derek and he will show it. But this tablet is trash. Ooh, not fair. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the one right there. Thanks, Derek. That's the one right there. One in 100 podcast. He says his name is Drake Winston in Batman 89, and he is a Robin. Yeah. I didn't know the name, that's for sure. And it's weird too because I have the Batman 89 books, but I never read them. But I do have them. Shout out to Eric working hard behind the scenes. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. So where we at? Okay. Chat talk. That's a segment of the show where we talk about whatever it is on your mind, whatever it is you ask, any questions, commentary, what you guys reading, that kind of thing. I finished reading the Behind the Veil. That finished up. It was okay. I just don't like when stories end and it appears to me that it's been rushed. That definitely felt rushed. I read the last issue of Destro, which was pretty good. Moon Man issue number 4 by Kid Cudi, that came out. That was pretty good. I'm looking forward to issue number 5 because this was a pretty good issue. One podcast. I think you would actually like the Batman 89 series, OG. Okay, I'll dig it up and read it. But I do have the books. I just hadn't read them, you know what I'm saying? Frustrated asks question, is anybody reading Spider-Man Reign 2? Yeah. So, like I said, I read that. I read the Spawn stuff that came out this week, which was the Violator, the new Violator series came out. Sam and Twitch, the recent issue that came out. It says, Rich, did you catch that they race swapped Kane's father and Prodigy? He was originally white, now he's black. I didn't catch it. I did read it, but the Prodigy series, man, look, I like Mark Millar. And the series, I like where they're kind of going with this story so far. It's different for Edison Crane, for sure. I'm just kind of like the unbelievable the comic book aspect to who Edison Crane or what Prodigy is very fantastical. Part of me doesn't want to like it because it's too fantastic, but I recognize that it's a comic book, and so it does comic book type things. Like when he says, I took 50 cents, my dad gave me 50 cents, and I turned it into $1 billion. As much as I like to think that all of us could do that, it's kind of unbelievable, but that's comics. But no, I didn't pick that up. I'm gonna have to go back and reread the last issue. 1 in 100 podcast says, I picked up Batman the Hill, Batman Day, and also reserved my copy for Florence in Normandy by Rodney Barnes. Yep. Yeah. Speaking of Rodney Barnes, man, we want to also prop up, you guys, make sure you pre-order Batman Full Moon that Rodney Barnes is writing will be out next month. We want you guys to go and go grab that too. So that's going to be a DC Black Label book. Yeah, that's going to be fire. That's going to be fire for sure. Anansi asks, can Spawn change back into Al Simmons now whenever he wants, or was that just for a short period of time? Oh no, he can do that. He can do that now. He has done that, and he is doing that in the current Spawn run. He's doing that actually in Spawn, and he's doing that in King Spawn. So yeah, he has that power now. Funny thing is, the way everything is kind of set up, nobody has powers due to the fallout from the last story arc. So, but he does have that ability to change. He still has that ability. So yeah, I'm not sure where they're going in terms of the King Spawn stuff and in terms of the continuity Spawn stuff. It's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? This last story arc that they did was pretty fire. But now that they're in this new setting where all of these creatures, demons, angels, whatever, are stuck on Earth and no one has powers, I'm not sure how they're going to like restore, or that's going to be what they're just going to be doing forward. So, but yeah, it's been pretty good though. So yeah. So I've been reading. I read that I dropped Hulk. Hulk. I was up to issue 17, I want to say, and I dropped it because after the initial couple of story arcs with the eldest, this last issue that I wrote, issue number 716, it was just kind of like, what are y'all doing? Now it's just kind of like, I don't like filler issues, especially when they're like back to back, and that's what it's been for like the last 2 or 3 issues. I've enjoyed Philip Kennedy Johnson's interpretation of Hulk. It's been pretty cool, but now it's starting to feel like filler stuff. And when it gets to be filler, when it feels like it's filler, I ain't finna spend my money on that. I don't have $4 or $5 to just spend on filler issues. No. Frustrated says, we haven't seen the Violator in a while. I think this is where he returns. Well, actually, this is the origin story. This is the origin story of the Violator. The first issue, like I said, came out, read it, was pretty good. But it's a trippy origin story. It goes back to the very, very beginning, or as the book puts it, the end of the beginning. That's how they put it. Jay actually said, did you read Philadelphia issue 35? Yes, I did. Also, did you see Transformer 1? Did not see Transformers. I wanted to go see it, but I was on vacation and I was just being lazy. I did go, the last movie I saw was The Killer's Game. The Killer's Game with Batista. That was a fun movie with Terry Crews and a few other actors. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. If you like action-packed type stuff, you know, Chase, you know, he plays an assassin, and he finds out. I'm gonna get to Agatha in a minute, Derek. He finds out that he's dying, and so he basically has lived this life as as an assassin, and so he basically takes out a contract on himself. Well, in the process of him finding out that he's dying, he's been cultivating this relationship with this woman And so this is the only thing he has outside of doing what he does that matters to him. But it comes to find out he's not really dying. And so this contract has been put in place. And so now he got all these people coming to get him. And so that he has to like fight off these other assassins. It's basically like a humorous version of John Wick. But yeah. As far as Agatha All Alone goes, I will simply say this, that it is just simply a Disney show. There was nothing compelling about this show. Is it terrible? No. Is it great? No. It's just a Disney show. They dropped two episodes because they knew that if they just dropped one, that viewership on that thing is going to drop. And I look for it to drop because it's just not really. And here's the thing. I'm not even on the side of quote unquote fanboys when it comes to this. You know how the fanboys are. They don't like anything that got women in it. and you know, the whole thought is, well, this is not for you, whatever. But whoever it's for, they're not watching it. They're not going to watch it. I mean, it's maybe if you like being a witch, I guess. I don't know. But the show was okay for what it was. But if you don't watch it, you ain't missing nothing. You're really not. So yeah. Moana says, thank BCLs for getting me hooked on Philadelphia. Style So Serious says Transformers was good, mostly a kid film, but deep dives Transformers generation all through the movie. Yeah. Frustrated says, for those of you who aren't reading Ain't No Grave, y'all have got to check out the comic series. It wrapped up, but Scotty Young did an excellent job writing that book. I have a few of the Ain't No Grave books in my collection. But I picked those up like in lots, in comic lots. And so I've never read them. I'm about to go back and check them out. Jay says, how do you say The Acolyte was the gayest Star Wars show now? They pull promoting Agatha as the gayest Marvel show. Well, I mean, look, the fanboys are going to do what fanboys do. They're going to stoke the fires of straight white males. They have this thought that they are being replaced, and that the dominant culture. And anytime you hear a white person say they're not doing what the dominant culture wants, they're basically saying they're not doing what the white people want. That's basically what they're saying. But they use words like dominant culture because they don't want to be accused of being racist or having racist views or whatever. But that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? And again, you know, I'll tell the fanboys, they're not thinking about y'all because y'all ain't gonna be around. Y'all not gonna be around long. Y'all complain. Y'all 50, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old complaining about movies and shows and entertainment and comics that are just clearly not for you. You know, you have to do the back issue. You have to do the back issue boogie. You know, you can be mad about, or you can dislike the stuff that you see. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. Exceptional X-Men came out, right? And Exceptional X-Men issue #1, written by Eve Ewing. Okay, I was watching a channel, and they talked about it, how it was, how trash it was, and that kind of thing. They tried to use a couple of examples as to why the book was trash, but ultimately none of them came up to the conclusion that this just wasn't for them. And again, public service announcement to white people: everything that used to be for y'all is not for y'all anymore. Sorry, not sorry. That's just what it is. You're going to have to just go back to them, like I said, back issue boogie. You're going to have to go into your long boxes. You want to read about Kyle Rayner? You want to read about, you say Hal Jordan is the greatest Green Lantern ever? Well, go back and read, Darkest or Blackest Night. Go back and read that. You say that, Hawkman, that Tony Isabella did 30 years ago, whatever, is the John you think Robin Venditti's. Go back and reread it. You don't like the X-Men today? Well, go back and read Christopher Claremont. Go back and reread it. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, because the guys that you guys liked, they're not even writing these books that y'all crying about anymore. When's the last time Christopher Claremont wrote a X-Men book that any one of y'all cared about? When's the last time Roy Thomas wrote something? It's weird. These guys are weird to me, but this is what they do. So, and again, I read the book. Did I like the book itself, Exceptional X-Men? No, not really. But I realized it really just wasn't for me because, one, I'm not a Kitty Pryde person. Two, I'm really not into Emma Frost like that. Just not. I like Eve Ewing as a writer. She wrote Black Panther. She wrote Ironheart. But do I like this or whatever? No, not really. But I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to do a 30-minute show about it. I'm not going to. If something's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. But this is how these guys make their money. They make their money, disparaging all this content that's out here. That's not for them. And it is what it is. And somebody get word to Eric July and tell him to just keep doing what he's doing to Rippaverse and leave the Marvel and DC stuff alone. Don't talk about it. Just do what you've been doing. You've been putting out these books. You've been doing your own thing. There's no need for you to comment on all this other stuff. Just stick with what you've been doing. Everybody gets why you do what you do. Everybody knows that you don't like this, that, and the third. Just do that. Just do that. You're successful at what you do. You don't need to do that. Leave some of these, man, let some of these dudes twist in the wind. They wouldn't be nowhere without you. He's literally made them relevant. Took a black man to do that. One says back issue boogie is one of my new phrases now. The prime one says, for me, it's about telling a good story with characters that make sense in accordance with that universe. Absolutely. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Here's the thing about that, though. Good storytelling is not easy to find. There are some guys who are masters at it, and there's some guys who are not. Rodney Barnes is a master artist, is a writer. Jonathan Hickman, he's another one. Donny Cates. Donny Cates is like, and this is no shade to Donny Cates, but Donny Cates is like Tom King. You give Donny Cates 10 issues, 12 issues, that's enough. That's enough. Don't give him 50. give him a short, limited series to write a story arc or cover, and it'd be fire. I mean, he made Thor amazing when he did the Thor book. I wasn't ever a Thor guy, but I enjoyed thoroughly Thor. Okay, he did his King in Black stuff. That stuff was great for what it was. But was I just a head over heels over Venom? No, I never was a Venom guy. His crossover book that he did, that was dope. Chip Zdarsky is another writer that's dope or whatever. But when it comes to Black artists in particular or whatever, it gets a little interesting because, again, you can have all the great ideas in the world, but if you don't execute those ideas from an artistic standpoint, then it's all for moot. That's why I wish that more people would go back and study Dwayne McDuffie. I wish guys would really go back and really check out that dude's run on Icon. Go read his Deathlock series. Go read that. Go get some inspiration from that. You know what I'm saying? Because again, there's a lot of guys who have some dope ideas, but they don't necessarily, translate. Because to his point, it's got to make sense. Now that's when you're dealing with superhero stuff. And let's just be honest, the superhero stuff is getting long in the tooth. People are more into horror. People are more into true crime. People are more into that kind of stuff because the superhero stuff has just not been that good lately. World's Finest by Wade, that's been pretty cool. That's been pretty cool. But that's not been a whole lot of stuff that's just points at, man, that's amazing. Some of this stuff is just not. Want it to be, but it's not. Art is subjective. And, again, a lot of people use a lot of fire covers to mask their lack of artistic ability from a writing standpoint. That's why when you pick up a lot of comic books, that comic book, it might be 22 pages, but it may not even have but 50 words in it. No one's going to mistake that as some literary masterpiece. They're not. So sometimes people lean more on the art on terms of the actual visual aspect to tell their story, which is a good artist can do that. They know how to move. They know how to move from panel to panel, that kind of thing. But everyone can't do that. Sanford Green is someone that can do that. Go back and read or go back and look at that Doom book and see how Sanford Green laid that book out. That was pretty fire. Jonathan Hickman did the writing on that along with him, but he did the art as well. So it's a lot of stuff that I see a need for people that's in these mediums that's doing comics and that kind of thing to just go back and study some of the greats. You don't have to copycat everything that they do, but you can take bits and pieces. And again, this is art. You're supposed to study art, not mimic it. Study it. That way you can create your own style and, you'll be known for that. The Primal One says, to be honest, superhero comics have been on the decline for over a decade. The folks that came in the game at that time really messed up the genre. It's a shame, too. Yeah. 1 in 100 podcast says, I wish that Mr. Bonds would do another superhero stunt story. His run on Incredible so far. Yep. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. I wish I could tell you more. I wish I could say more about it, but it's just not. Well, look, guys, we got to get on out of here, man. Please remember, go to strangercomics.com, pick up a book or trade from Sebastian over at Stranger Comics. Anything you buy over there as far as books are concerned, you can get 10% off using the BCL code. So if you've been interested in getting a variant, whether the hip-hop variants or want to read some of his dope stories. And listen, Sebastian's got some dope stories, man. The Tales of Asunder stuff is amazing. His chief character, Noobi, is amazing. Dusu is amazing. So he's got some dope characters, man. Y'all need to go check that dude out. Go to Stranger Comics, pick up a trade paperback, use the code BCL, get 10% off. And you can do that now, and you can do that later. Also, by September the 26th, that's this Thursday night, please call your LCS, pre-order Niobe Tales of Asunder and Defiant, the story of Robert Smalls. You want those books in your collection, especially that Robert Smalls book. That's history. That's a history legend. You want in on that. I promise you. You want in on that. So call your LCS, get that. Final cutoff date is September 26th, which means that if you try to pre-order it, you cannot pre-order it after September 26th. So give them guys a call. Let them know that's what you want to do. With that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get a benediction so I can get out of here. Hope you guys had a dope time with me tonight. Want to thank everybody for participating. Want to thank everybody for the super chats they gave. And yeah, man, please like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I know I didn't say that early, but it is what it is. So I'm going to get a benediction. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys later. The benediction is Psalm, the 12th chapter, verses 6 through 8. It simply says this: the words of the Lord are pure, as silver tried in the furnace of earth, purified 7 times. You should keep them, O Lord. Thou wilt preserve them for this generation forever. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. Y'all do with that what y'all will. Shout out to Diddy. From the stronghold that is black comic clothes and black superheroes forever, it's your boy Rich. I promise I wasn't trying to do that. Until next time, we say peace. We out.